welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below. Click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips for first year teachers, so stay tuned. So just a little background, I'm going into year number 5. My very first year I taught 2nd grade. It was the best experience ever. The very first day I went home and wanted to cry because I didn't know what I got myself into. But after a while it got a lot better and I end up loving my kids so much and they end up loving me. I can still see them to this day and they give me the biggest hugs and they've grown up so much. After that, my 2nd year, so I took a 2-year break.
You serious?
2, yes, I said it, 2-year break. And then came back because I wanted to teach at the high school level and coach basketball. So I got lucky with a job teaching high school geometry and coaching basketball. So I did 2 years in one district teaching high school geometry and coaching basketball and track. And then I moved to a completely new district. Last year was my first year there, still at the high school level, still teaching geometry, still coaching basketball. Now I'm in my 5th year, same district, same subject, and I am absolutely loving it. You are a first year teacher. It's going to be extremely hard that first day. Yes, you may cry and it is okay, but know that there is a brighter side in the end, and you are doing something that is very rewarding. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be hard, but you can make it, and I'm here to support you with whatever you need. So my top 10 tips. Tip number 1, learn your school's policy. Policy meaning if there's fire drills, where do I go? Tornado drills, where do I go? This is at the high school and elementary level. Know your sick leave because you are gonna get sick. Yes, you are going to get sick, especially if you teach those little ones. When I taught 2nd grade, I was sick 3 times in 1 month because they just want to give you all the hugs and all the cuddles. It's so nice, but yet then you find yourself sick.
And then sick again, and then again.
Make sure you are learning your school's policy. If there's a website you're supposed to go to, create an absence to assign a sub if your school assigns a sub for you, because it's been a mix with the schools that I've been at. One school I've had to assign the subs myself and also fill out the paperwork for it, which was online. The school I'm at now, I don't have to do that. I just have to let them know when I'm going to be gone. They'll find the sub, the paperwork, and I just sign it. Also, fire drills. Where are you supposed to go when there's a fire drill, tornado? Because I had no idea. And sometimes they'll throw a fire drill on you in the first week. Yes, it has happened to me. And I'm like, no idea where to go. So my students had to help. The second tip I have is don't be afraid to ask questions or chime in on finding solutions. Asking questions is going to help you out so much. Don't feel like you're asking a dumb question or asking too many questions, because A, you can never ask too many questions, and B, if you don't ask questions, then you're never gonna know. Make sure you are asking questions. And if you have figured out something that works for you, don't be afraid to share that. Just because you're a first year teacher doesn't mean that you're not highly qualified for the job. Feel free to chime in on if you have solutions or ideas. Don't be afraid. Tip number 3, create a subfolder. Even if your school doesn't require you to have one, make sure you have one in place. Because like I said earlier, you're gonna get sick. It's bound to happen. Elementary, high school, middle school, it's going to happen. Make sure you create a subfolder. Tip number 4, build a relationship with your students. Please. Relationships built with your students is going to get you so much further than not building that relationship with your kids. Don't be afraid to ask questions or play games that require them to answer questions. You want to build that and establish that relationship with your students so that they feel that your classroom is a community for them. It's a safe space for them. I've worked in Title I schools, and there's a lot of students that struggle with a happy home life. Sometimes your classroom is the happiest place for them. So make sure that you build a relationship with them, get to know your kids, go to their events if they have any. I'm a coach, I love sports. So make sure that if they ask you to go watch a practice or see a game, do that, because it means so much for a student to see their teacher at one of their games or at one of their practices. Like, that just shows them that you care, and it's the best thing. And you can have a kid that knows that you care as their teacher. Tip number 5, set the tone early. When I say set the tone, if you see a kid doing something that you do not want to happen in your classroom, nip it in the bud on day 1 if you have to. If it's day 1, nip it in the bud. I promise you, if you set the tone now, yes, first day of school, if you set it, then you won't have to see that. You won't be battling it in the middle of the year or at the end of the year. Set the tone early, because if not, it's going to be harder for you to be tough on them later on when you're easy in the beginning versus being hard on them now and then lessening up as the year goes on. Tip number 6, it's okay to smile on the first day of school. You probably have heard, don't smile till November or don't smile till the second semester. It's up to you. Me personally, I smile from day 1. I'm a nice person. I want my kids to know that I'm a nice person, but I'm also going to set the tone early. I show a lot of tough love because that is my expectation. I'm going to set my expectation high for my students, but I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. So don't be afraid to smile on the first day of school. It is okay. All right? So don't feed into that. Don't smile until November. All right? Tip number 7, find out if you have a mentor teacher and who that mentor teacher is. It's going to help you out so much. You're going into this journey as a first year. You may know absolutely nobody at the school. So ask your principal if you have a mentor teacher, if they haven't told you yet. Normally they do when you get hired, and before school starts, they let you know who your mentor teacher is. Your mentor teacher should introduce themselves. So when I had a mentor teacher, they were in a grade above mine, but we taught different things. So it helps when you can learn different strategies from someone who is not teaching the same subject area as you are. So find out who that mentor teacher is, get to know them, ask them any questions you want. They're very nice and open. There may be some out there that are not, but more than likely you're going to have a great mentor teacher. If you don't have one, you can always come ask me. I can help you out in the best way possible. If not, I can always find the answers for you. Tip number 8. This is a really big one, okay? This is what they don't tell you about becoming a teacher. All the paperwork. And when I say paperwork, I mean the papers, the assignments, the tests, the quizzes, everything. Find spaces or organizers for them, please. When I tell you you are going to have paper overload, I mean it. Find spaces or organizers. You can get those black crates from Walmart. You can find them on Amazon. I'll link them down below. But I like to use crates, and I'll put hanging file folders in them. I'll alphabetize it so I don't have to change it every year, and I'll stick the students' papers in there based on their last name. So I go by last name. But when I tell you you're going to have a lot of papers, organize them, because you don't want them overflowing on your desk like mine were the first 2 years of teaching. So find organizers or spaces for all your papers to go. Tip number 9, work during your planning period or your prep hour. You're going to have a planning period. You're going to have a prep hour, whichever one your school district calls it. Try to work as much as you can during that hour, because you do not want to take paperwork home. It was extremely hard. You wake up, you go to school to teach for 8 hours, bell rings, you're done. Me, I have to go to practice, get out of practice about 5. So work as much as you can during your planning period. Whatever you don't get finished, push it to the side, come in early, stay a little late, but do not take papers home if you can help it. It's gonna help you out so much, especially as a first year teacher. You're already gonna be overwhelmed. So try to work as hard as you can, and so that you don't have to take those papers home with you, because it's too much. Don't do it. Tip number 10, have treats for yourself in your drawer or in your wherever you want to put it that your kids do not know about, because you are going to have days with an S, where you are overwhelmed, the kids were terrible, whatever the case may be. You are going to need that piece of candy. My favorite choice is Reese's. You're gonna need it because it's gonna take you back to your happy place. You'll be able to forget about the whole day and start fresh. So make sure you have treats laying around here and there, secret hiding spots, so you can have those treats when you need them. So you're gonna need them. And my last and final bonus tip is don't be afraid of being uncomfortable. There's going to be times where you are going to be like, I don't want to call a kid out, or I don't want to pull this kid to the side and explain whatever it is that they're doing wrong. There are going to be times where you're going to be put in an uncomfortable position, and you have to be okay with that. I was very shy. I still am. I'm very introverted. But in this career, I have to be the complete opposite. And I like that because it's taking me out of my comfort zone. And so I have grown to accept being uncomfortable, being willing and being okay with correcting somebody. It's teaching. It's a part of teaching. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable, being able to correct kids, even though you may feel like it's being mean, but that's what you're there for. They're gonna love you no matter what. So be okay with being uncomfortable. All right, that's all the tips I have for you guys today. If you are a first year teacher or a veteran teacher, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like it, comment down below if you enjoyed my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.